Hello, we are here for one more lesson of this SprutCAM 12 training course. The topic for today will be what's new in SprutCAM 12. It's not one of the major topics that we will talk about in this course, but in my opinion it is important to make a point of what has been developed for this new version so that you that are interested in these informations know a little about what the company is developing. We will highlight some of the new features to have a complete description of what it is done new, what appear new in this version. You can access the document that we will release in our online platform, which we've been mentioning about in these past videos, also about SprutCAM topic. So the first topic to highlight, it is a new user interface. Among you who knows SprutCAM in previous versions, if now sees this 12 version, will recognize still SprutCAM, so it's the same software, but they've done a cleanup of the interface. Bigger icons, less icons, so more graphic look. We had 3 tabs, and now we had 4 tabs. Now we have 3 tabs, so model, machining, and simulation. One of the tabs, which was the 2D, now it's inside model, and we will see a little about it later on in this video. And I would say a better general dealing with the software, more fast, more easy to deal with. So this is the first important thing to notice, a new user interface. We have also some improvements on the visualization. For example, if we come to this function here, so we have functions now to shade with wire only, and we have an option to define the ambient occlusion. For example, shade, you see, even having this toolpath in front, which we can turn off, but you can see that we have a couple of different functions to help visualize the model. So for example, also wire. So a couple of nice functions to deal with this thing. Then we have also some improvements, as I said, on the way that we deal with the 2D. So in the past we had a specific tab for the 2D. Now if we go to model, we can draw directly. So we can go to drawing or sketch. We will see a little about how to deal with these functions in future videos. But for example, to draw, we get this little different look, and we have on top of the screen these 2D functions which allow to make drawings. I'm doing this randomly, but we can control what we are doing. Okay. So basically this is another improvement because this is parametric, also allow us some nice possibilities to create these entities that will help us on the machine. Another nice feature about simulation, I will try to open another model. something called car painting. Let's try to open this. We have a model of a car. We can do a simulation of this model. So we have a robot, and okay, we can simulate painting now, and you will see that according to what it is done, now the system can simulate painting, and it can do this in two different ways. Okay, it can simulate the painting as covering an area, or it can define also a specification to check the thickness what is doing in this little simulation, having this color dialog box here to show the thickness. Again, we have a video not only for this topic but also for the others that will show correctly all the features about this. Another interesting feature, it is something called a new milling strategy for high-speed milling. Let me try to about the parameters. It's not very important at this stage because we will see the parameters later on. But it is important to show especially the behavior of the tool, which if you can see, for example, there are no sharp corners in the movements of the tool, so everything it is round, allowing more stable cut to promote the life of the tool, to promote an easier cut, and all those advantages that you may understand about having a smoother toolpath. I'm not sure. Let me try to open a new one. I think this is a color file that allow us easier to check. Let me. Okay, this is a smaller one, so you see the same kind of behavior in the tool. Let me change again to this side. Let us try to run the program a little to see that the tool has a very nice behavior. It's a longer toolpath, but in the end, what is interesting in this kind of toolpath, it is to have it very smooth. It's reaching the corners. We can speed up a little the program. Okay, and as you can see, it has this behavior of cutting a small portion each time. So let's try to reach that particular area. Okay. Okay, I think a very nice feature to add to the package of tools we have already. Another very interesting feature, because it's a new milling strategy, it is something called plunge roughing. It requires a specific tool, it requires also a specific equipment, but when possible and for some specific type of parts, it's also a very interesting way to machine, because it will make a roughing cut doing multiple plunges, as you may see. So it's, some people like this kind of machining, others don't like, but it's a tool. Finally, I'd like to show you also a nice feature that has to do with the possibility to convert a 3D to a 5D toolpath. I will not show you the conversion itself because it's a function that grabs something that is calculated and basically converts it to movements in 5 axes. But you have these the conversion without the conversion and with the conversion. So without it is a straightforward toolpath. You see the tool on a normal position, so nothing complex. When we make the conversion, then we have this kind of toolpath where we have movement in this particular case adapted to each kind of machine, but in this particular case the machine has a rotation on the table. But basically it is something that we can have also now, which is quite interesting due to the fact that we have milling programs and milling strategies for both 3D, 5D and other composition of axes. These are the main highlights for the new version 12. Again, let me mention that we have a full description of all the topics in our online platform, which you can access if send us a contact, and we will explain you how to assess that area where you can find this documentation and other things that we think are of your interest. Any help, any additional explanation that you may need, again, send us a contact.